Alright, this is Iron Bill. I'm back with another video, and really this is more of a conversation than it is a typical video that I would make, where I might play some game and analyze it. I'm just going to let the gameplay go in the background. This is a Nightmare Hunt. I think it's Fogoth is the one I'm doing, and just load out. I'm running the heavy bow for my heavy weapon. I just wanted to try it out before the season started again, so I could do it before and after. When Beyond Light drops, who knows, it might wind up being a pretty good deal. And running a sniper, the Supremacy, and then of course the Callus Mini tool. This is a top tree Dawn Blade, and that's that. So not much to discuss on that. You've seen a lot of that play before. And anyway, here we are. It's as of this recording, this is Sunday night, and in 48 hours we'll be playing the Beyond Light. It's actually almost here, so hard to believe at this point we are finally about to see it drop, but we are. And I've gone through my vault a few times now already, and I'm torn on what I want to do, because there are some really good things that I have that I haven't had the chance to explore fully. By the way, that was like my third exotic today. I think Bungie must have tuned up the exotic drop right here, right at the end, because I'm just getting a bunch of them. Anyway, I'm torn on some of the old weapons, because once they're gone, man, they're gone. They're going to put up kiosks, however, in the tower, and one of them will be a way to get quest type items that you can no longer get, both legendary and exotic. Could be pretty cool. There are things that I haven't gotten because I just didn't want to go through the hassle of, like Not Forgotten or Luna's Howl. I can't imagine that those weapons would be in that kiosk, but they might be. Also Mountaintop, and not that Mountaintop is anything, it's going to get nerfed, by the way. And not that it will be at its heyday, but you know what? I also got the Recluse after it had been nerfed, and it was still a pretty good submachine gun. I mean, to say the least. And I've not used it really in a good long time since it was announced it was going to be sunset. I've actually acquired the Ikelos and the Callus, and I think I like them better, if I'm being honest. So I'm not going to be hurt by that, but I guess that's kind of what I'm talking about here, is that, you know, with the prospect of sunsetting before us, it's imminent. You know, I began to want to search around and spend my gameplay time just experimenting with weapons. And since I'm primarily a PvE player, that's what I've been doing the most of. Especially since to acquire any of these good rolls requires farming that is going away. Menagerie, as a for instance, won't be something that you can do. Umbrals are going away. So if there's anything that you can get by farming engrams, you need to do that now. I mean, we have, well, about a day to do that. By this point in time tomorrow night, we'll be about 40 minutes away from the servers going off, and they'll stay off until the reset where Beyond Light begins. So I guess that's another caution that I would throw out there. I am sorry that I have not posted a lot lately. It's a combination of things. You know, I have a family member who's quite ill, and I've had to deal with that. And in the U.S. elections this week, and I'm not going to state my political preference because this really isn't what the channel is about. But if you live in the U.S., you know what a roller coaster it's been this week, and it's really been something else. So just kind of want to say I'm sorry, but it's kind of dry content right now anyway, and I think, you know, since I've not played really any PvP all week long to speak of, I had a few matches, but not many. I didn't feel like I wanted to experiment with weapons in PvP in the current sandbox, because it was just a good way to get owned worse than I normally do. And I usually do get owned, but I didn't want to, you know, really make it that much worse and you know, frustrate my teammates with not being able to at all at least hold my own. So I just kind of held off of doing any videos. I mean, I've got tons of stuff that I've recorded, but yeah, you know, as for instance this kind of stuff. So anyway, what am I looking forward to? In a word, no. I mean, we've been 4 months in this, and it's, you know, obviously after a time, you just kind of get tired of it. And I love the game. It's still beautiful. I come in here and I look at the bright colors and just the fluid gameplay. And I even went into my PS4 earlier today and tried to jump into that just for old time's sake, just to see, you know, what it would be like. And man, I may get a PS5. I have friends who are still on the PlayStation, and you know, I would want to continue to interact with them, but I gotta tell you, man, it's hard. If PlayStation 5 isn't on par with this, I just can't see myself ever spending a great deal of time in PS5. You know, because I'm a mouse and keyboard player now. I mean, dedicated. I have a keypad controller, but I could play on a keyboard if I had to. And man, I can't believe how clunky it feels on a joystick after having, and controller, you know, after having done this. So, yeah, who knows? But I'm keeping that option open. I was pricing them today. Christmas is coming up, my birthday as well. I may pull the trigger. There are other games that I could play on the PS4 that I can't do on PC, so who knows? But that's an aside. The subclasses, people have talked about them at length. I think they'll either be game busting at first or game making. I don't think... I mean, when you introduce something really new, and I think this is something I would caution people to remember, when you come in with something absolutely new, and this pretty much is, it takes a while to get it tweaked in right. And I do think there'll be a break-in period here where there may be some things adjusted. There have been extreme cases in Destiny's history. The Vex, Mythoclast, when it was first introduced, game-breaking. But that was a weapon. It was easy to tune and bring down. But if you remember that first year of Destiny, and you remember what hunters could do in Crucible, right there at first, I mean, it was something, to say the least. It's no accident that most people play Hunter, that's for sure. So, enough of rambling on that. Weaponry. I'm looking forward to just hunting up new armor, new weapons, just new. And to that end, that's when I go into my vault. When I have that mindset, I'm thinking, well, let's clear it out because, you know, I want to use the new stuff anyway. The trouble is, and maybe it's a bit of fear of missing out, there are weapons that are really not very good right now that could wind up being very, very good once Beyond Light drops because of sandbox changes, and I'm just loath to get rid of them at this point. So I've left myself about 75 slots in my vault, which should be a good starting point. And then as new stuff comes out that I want to try out, you know, and if I latch on to some things that are really super cool and I know I won't miss my other stuff, I'll let it go. But I am by nature a hoarder, not gonna lie. And I'm sure many of you are too. Alright, that's basically all I've got to talk about. It's just a bit of rambling about why I haven't played and what I'm looking forward to in a couple of days. One more thing. I was looking at the specs for what you needed space-wise on your PC to download, and you might want to pay attention to that. I think it was 168 megabytes or 1.68 gig. It was something like that. You want it. Here's what I would tell you, and I'm going to look at it again too. Clear up some hard drive space if you need to. Be ready for it. Oh, and there was one more thing besides that. But to finish that thought, yes, make sure that you have enough hard drive space that you can download. The install space is less than half of the, the fully installed space is less than half of the install requirements, but you still have to have that large block ready to go. No, the other thing I want to mention is there is going to be a live event, and it's going to be tomorrow evening, and that's part of what the downtime is going to be about. Around 7 p.m. Eastern, there's going to be a little bit of downtime. Steam's going to require you to update with a patch. And the talk is they're going to install a piece into the game at that point in time for a live event. So there is an emblem in the database that is linked to that event that is happening tomorrow. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, don't want to miss out, just make sure you tune in, probably starting around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah. So with all that said, I'm going to cap it there. This is Iron Bill. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Good night.